Hi, I'm Kristen, and welcome to Murder, She Joked. This is Birds of a Feather, Part 2. When last we left Jessica, she was just about to interview Howard to get his side of the story.
But I just said that. I mean, didn't you hear me say that? Didn't I just say that? I mean, what am I, in an echo chamber here? Look, just get it done, okay?
Mom.
Bye. You've got 10 minutes.
Miss Fletcher, I don't know what to say.
I'll tell you what to say.
Objection, leading the witness.
He knew I was broke, so he held back on my wages.
That still doesn't explain why you were standing over him with a murder weapon in your hand.
Well, see, I finished my act, and I went back to his office to quit and get my money.
Mr. Drake, I'm not listening to any more excuses. This is my last night, and I want what you owe me. Does this belong to you? Mr. Drake, this time you're gonna talk to me.
Quick, shooter!
All I could see was my picture on page 1, getting busted in a dress. It's great. We can put it in a wedding album next to my mugshot.
Oh, Howard, I am so relieved. We've only had one killer in our family, 1777, I believe, and the redcoat shot first.
We've had a lot of embezzlement, though, and a conch fighting ring.
I wonder what Miss Stevenson was doing there.
Well, everybody knew that Mr. Drake and Barbara worked late. A lot. Together?
Yeah, I get the idea.
Intercourse.
Now, look, I've got the name of a very good lawyer. And is there anything else you need?
How about a pair of pants?
Well, hello, Mrs. Fletcher. We've established the time of death.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Drake was killed between 9:50 and 10:05.
15 minutes. Isn't that a little precise?
That's when York was performing. The banging of his drums covered the sound of the shot.
Yeah, but...
Bye. What is it about that woman that makes me nervous?
I think she's kind of cute.
Hard to tell if Charlie's blushing here or if he just has rosacea.
J.B. Fletcher, isn't it? Hi, Bill Patterson.
Oh.
Nice to meet you. I did a little checking on you, you know. 6 paperbacks and 1 movie sale. Listen, do you have any representation on the West Coast?
Patterson is an agent
Yes, I do
slash
have an
manager
agent.
for
Actually, I was looking
comedians,
for Miss
drag
Barbara
queens,
Stevenson. She's the
actors,
girl who works
and
in the business
authors.
office.
Uh-huh. Well, I hope they're doing a good job for you. Through the club, backstage, past the dressing rooms.
Thank you.
Bye.
We have to do something about your lighting. You're getting some ugly shadows under your chins.
Well, if you want to critique my performance, Mrs. Drake, I prefer the privacy of my dressing room. Don't you ever speak to me that way in front of the staff again.
If you want a classy boudoir like Michelle, all you have to do is take a photo of Marilyn Monroe, Photoshop Craig Ferguson's face over it, et voila.
I suppose we do have to keep up appearances, don't we, darling?
Polygrip sure is minty.
Oh, excuse me.
Mrs. Fletcher,
I was just smoking a blunt.
you're Howard's aunt, aren't you?
Well, very soon, we hope.
You know, that's a shame about this whole thing. I mean, he's a really nice kid.
Well, I think you'll be pleased to know that he did not kill Mr. Drake.
Oh, he didn't? Who did? The bird?
You know, you have a wonderful sense of humor, Mr. York.
It's too bad it's wasted in a dump like this, huh?
Oh, wow. Well, I wouldn't call this a dump.
What would you call it? You know, in Vegas, you think they give a star a dressing room like this? They got a llama in one of the shows up there. The llama's got a better dressing room than this.
He also has better material.
No, forgive me for interrupting you.
Frankly, Barbara, I don't know how I could ever run this club without you. But I'm gonna try. You're fired.
Could I give you a lift?
No, weirdo, you're not driving.
Jump in, it's my treat.
Thanks.
I, did hear something.
I wouldn't tell a soul.
Well, Mr. Drake was already dead when Howard came in the room.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did it.
Mrs. Drake? Well, I suppose she would inherit the club. But she seems such a nice lady.
Nice. Lucretia Borgia in furs.
Catherine Medici in sequins. Obscure historical figures in fancy clothes.
But I thought...
Oh,
Now, don't ever say you heard this from me, but I wouldn't put it past Bill Patterson to kill him.
Oh, Mr. York's agent. Well, yeah, why would he?
The contract. Big offers were coming in for Freddie. I am talking about mega bucks. Except that Mr. Drake wouldn't let him out of the contract.
This episode brought to you by Megabucks, the Reagan-era stimulus plan. Megabucks, now accepted nowhere.
You kept me waiting. Is this a sign of things to come?
I think the location scout for this scene could have found somewhere with a few more droppings. I can still see bits of cement.
I thought we should get our story straight for that Mrs. Fletcher. She is determined to get Howard off the hook by putting someone else on.
Well, surely not me.
Nor me. Why, you don't know how much better I feel now that we've talked.
Me too, darling.
$5 says Mrs. Drake's hair smells like wet puppies.
I caught you. Any result on the nitric acid test?
It was negative, Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh, negative. That means he didn't fire the gun.
Well, maybe he was wearing gloves.
Well, if he'd worn gloves, his fingerprints wouldn't have been all over the gun. I mean, you can't have it both ways, Lieutenant.
Why are old ladies always trying to make capes happen again?
Also, I'm not sure about the time of death.
Now, that's one thing I am sure.
Well, can you prove that scientifically? Let's try it with music. Now, let's just pretend that one of the girls is dancing.
You are listening to The Keyboard Station on KSIO The Sample.
Once again, please, Charlie!
We all heard it, Mrs. Fletcher. With the door closed, with the door open.
What, you thought opening the door would muffle the sound?
Going across the stage. Face it, Mrs. Fletcher.
Hey, Lieutenant, wait a minute. I mean, what the hell is going on here? A detective audition?
Sorry, why does Angela Lansbury need a stunt double to step off the trolley and walk across the road? His robe was actually a promo for Star Trek 4.
Oh.
Oh, dear. I woke you up.
Yeah, well, when I work all night, I sleep a little during the day, or at least I try to.
I got this burlap robe for free, but it itches like crazy, so I wear a dress shirt underneath while I'm sleeping.
I'd like to talk to you about Howard.
Well, you didn't come up here and wake me up to tell me we're holding the wrong man.
You already know who you are.
Mrs. Fletcher, you're a bright gal. You would have been a great cop. But look, this is the real world, so please, just leave the police work to us.
The last thing in the world I want to do is to interfere, Lieutenant.
The rope that was holding the stage light was eaten through by acid. It was not an accident.
Oh, dear. Somebody wanted to kill Mr. York.
I don't know how to thank you, Mrs. Fletcher.
Well, just so you know, if you jump bail, the state of California has an option on my next 4 books. And the name is Jessica.
Where are you going?
I'm going to a public park. Everyone's pretending it's a driving range.
Oh, good shot. Oh, my, what a nice dog. What's his name?
Fritz. But be careful. He's had attack training.
It's one of the less popular Petco classes.
Do please accept my condolences. Your husband's death must have been a terrible shock.
Let me set you straight, lady. I didn't kill my husband.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I suggest that?
Look, if you insist on sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, then check on Freddie York and that blood-sucking agent of his.
Then he's well enough to receive visitors. How nice. Am I interrupting?
No, Mrs. Fletcher, come on in, come
That
on in.
is way more of Gabe Kaplan's leg than I ever wanted to see.
Just ask a few more questions. Like, did I murder Al Drake? The answer is no. Did Freddie murder Al Drake? The answer is no.
Bill, take it easy.
It's okay. I know you're a mystery writer, but I'll tell you, you're making a fool of yourself.
No, it is a bit of a puzzler, isn't it?
What do you think, Aunt Jessica?
I think that Noah is building his ark in there.
She should know she got to ride the last one.
Darlings, I am going to fall on my face unless I go to sleep.
I hope the sign she just put on the door said, "Quiet, please."
Of course.
There's no bullet hole in this pillow.
But this pillow was not in this room when we discovered the body.
Mrs. Fletcher, please.
Wait. Don't take my word for it. Look, no pillow.
These are police photographs. Where did you get them?
Your partner, Charlie.
Along with some pictures of himself I had to send to Dr. Seth Hazlitt.
You know, he's really a very nice man.
Then someone put this pillow in here after the investigation.
Because Drake's pillow was damaged by the shot.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the settees in all the dressing rooms match. Probably a bulk purchase.
Lieutenant, would you help me to demonstrate something? You haven't moved, have you?
I haven't moved.
Well, the inspector's beanbags finally dropped.
What are you trying to do, kill me?
You moved.
Of course I did.
That was great. I really enjoyed that.
That was very theatrical, diving off the stage when you didn't have to.
That doesn't mean I had anything to do with what happened to Al Drake. You know what? I'd like to stay around and talk, but I got to fly to Vegas. I hope my arms don't get tired. You're beautiful.
I think you made one very serious mistake.
I don't have time for this. I have a plane to catch.
You were afraid that someone would notice that the pillow was gone from Mr. Drake's room, and that they would figure out what had happened. So you brought in the pillow from your room.
Yeah, well, you call it murder. I call it a career move. Look at me. What do you see? I'm not just another comedian. I'm Freddie York. I'm the first guy that did his own rim shots.
Maybe don't lead with that.
I'm like the Edison of comedy. I'm Robert Fulton on the drums.
Self-rim shots are the same as inventing a steamboat.
So Al Drake sees me one Sunday night. He says, "Kid, you're good. Here's a long-term contract. It's your shot." He gave me a shot. I gave him a shot. Ba-dum-bum.
He just did a rim shot with his mouth. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
It's too bad. I could have knocked him dead.
I'm sure you would have.
Did she just console a murderer?
I now pronounce you man and wife.
So the only people that came to their wedding were Aunt Jess, co-workers from the place Howard just left, and the cop who lazily tried to pin murder on Howard. And the bride is wearing a suit? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I got big news for you, baby. I've been on the phone for an hour. I got you a job.
No way, Bill. I'm not wearing any more dresses.
Forget the dresses. This is an acting job. 2 days a week on a soap.
They're set for life.
It's in Hollywood. Starts on Monday.
What do you think, Aunt Jessica?
Well, I don't usually give advice, but...
Ah, my slipped disc.
I say, go for it.
And they never saw any of those people again. Thank you so much for watching Murder, She Joked. Tune in next time for My Johnny Lies Over the Ocean, starring Leslie Nielsen. Special thanks to Adrian at Practice Studios for letting me use all of his stuff.